What's up, guys? Just figured I'd show real quick. My oldest stepson was riding the Rhino the other day, and he had it running down the road and heard a loud bang, and wasn't sure what happened. I towed him back to the house, and when I seen there wasn't no movement through the transmission at all, I said I figured the old belt finally gave up the ghost. And indeed, that's what it was, just from deterioration and old age. And it's been setting up a while, so I had to hook the Tundra up to it to boost it off. I just got through putting the new one on it, and I was going to kind of show, what there is to it. It's really simple, not a big deal, especially on these Rhinos. Just pull the seats out, they're easy, quick disconnects, pull the plastic shroud off that goes around there, and I had to take the cover off. And so I've done got the new belt on here, and I admit, with it being such an older machine, I believe it's a 2008, 2009 model, I didn't buy the OEM Yamaha belt. Fitted a lot newer or greater condition, yeah, probably would have. But for 30 bucks, eBay, it seems to be made of considerable quality material to me, and if it holds up for a few years, that's good, right? For however long he wants to ride it. And but anyways, you got a couple 20mm bolts here on your secondary on the cooling fins. You pop that off, and then this shroud, when you take your belt cover off, the bolts, you got one here, and one right there. And when you take them off, you can just take your hammer and tap this guard off. Now on the newer machine, probably ain't been ridden as much mud, that's gonna come off a whole lot easier. But on this one, I had to beat it pretty good and get a crowbar and just gently try to work it loose on each side to get it to come off. And then you can get your 22mm loose in there, it pops right out. Then you take one of your screws, just like from out of your belt cover, and as you can see right there, there's two holes. One of them is right there behind the fin there, and there's another one on that side. We'll just pick one, screw the belt cover bolt into it, separate the secondary open so you can easily set the belt in it, then run it over the crank, and then slide the primary back over the top of the belt. The only problem I ran into was, I'm not sure over the earlier years of this machine, it was inherited, if there was any maintenance, but all the weights came loose in the primary, and I didn't realize it. And when I was trying to put the primary back up on the crank, I kept wondering why it wouldn't go on there far enough for the castle nut and the washer to get enough threads to start. Well, finally I pulled it back off, and I realized that there was a big reason why. A lot of the weights had done came loose inside of it and was in the way of the crank or the primary sliding all the way up on the crank as far as it's supposed to. So I then had to take it back apart. I took the primary off, took the three on the 450, the three little Phillips screws off the head, took me a flathead screwdriver and gently just took my time and worked this cap off the primary loose, because there's a rubber seal under it. I didn't want to damage it, and I got it apart, and it was an absolute atrocious mess inside there. And got it, the weights all back in place, and they got it put back together, and obviously then it easily slipped as far as it's supposed to, and fit on like it needs to. But then like I said, it's a pretty simple procedure. Take this loose, take the guard off, take your primary to slide it off, slip the belt over, and then just slide the primary back on and tighten it back down. I didn't even, honest to goodness, I didn't worry about no torque specs. I just put my impact on the torque setting 1, the weakest, and torqued it down. And let's fire up, make sure the primary and secondary is not spinning at idle, and engages smoothly, which on these Yamahas, it holds that one-way tension on the belt, so it don't have to just grab it off throttle. So let's see what we got. They've been setting for quite a while, so even though I put a new battery on it, not too long ago, I had to boost it off with the truck. So let's see what we got. Fire that up. Not spinning. That's no big deal. That's just a guard. I didn't have it fastened yet, so everything's working as it should. I'll put that back, tighten that down with the belt cover bolts in a minute. Looks like everything's fine. I'm gonna put it back together and take it for a run down the road, and it'll be good to go. Can't hardly beat these old Yamahas, that's for sure. The blazing power this thing has is, you know, suck the hair off the back of your head, right? It's got 28-inch swamp lights all the way around it on the 450, and what was funny is when my wife inherited it and got it down here, the roof had Rhino 700 decals on it, and when we first got it running, it'd been setting up for a long while, and got it running, the top speed was about 33. Well, my SD card errored out. Not sure what happened with that, but anyway, like I was saying, I knew the 700 was supposed to do a little over 40 miles an hour, and which I know these 28s definitely wasn't helping the cause, but we was using GPS tracking. So I got home, I told my oldest stepson, I said, let's pull this engine cowling off and let me have a look. And sure enough, I'd seen the 421cc, and I said, that's what I thought. That's funny. I don't know if he had just had a different hood put on it or what. I'm gonna get the plastics back on it, and to get the belt cover and the plastics back on it rather, and take it for a ride down the road and back and make sure everything's working right. One thing I was gonna add real quick, Yamaha has a really high quality, nice thick seal around the belt housing, and just make sure that all the way around it is sealed back good against here, because it fits like a groove. It's got a slot that fits over the cover, and you don't want to get it all the way on there and have a spot that was pinched, maybe like on the bottom or whatever, and then you're seeping water in there, and you got to take it all back out and move the seats and the plastic and put it on there. So just make sure that that's fit down on that groove all the way around. It's really a nice seal. I mean, imagine how old this one is, and shoot, I looked it over and it's still in good shape. All right, we're gonna finish up. All right, I got the cowling back on, plastics back on the seat, seats back in. Let's see if I got it all put back together good enough. Everything on it still works as should. Put in 4-wheel drive. Oh yeah. Engage the parking brake. Yeah, that makes a big difference. It's driving a whole lot better now, and so we're gonna go get her parked, and that'll complete that. We'll see y'all next time. Hit it. Yeah, put it in second gear and give it the beans. Go. Yeah. Stay on it. See if you can rock it back and forth and get out. Uh-oh, we done got one victim. The old 95 Kodiak with factory slicks just can't get through it. Can't beat the old school 3-wheel drives.